press the bell icon on the YouTube app and never miss another update.
Hello students, welcome back to your social science class. We're going to continue the chapter social problems. We are on the verge of finishing it. We're not yet finished. We were discussing about child marriage. Okay, we have talked about child marriage, what are the reasons for child marriage, and we also studied the Act of 2006, that's Prohibition of Child Marriage Act 2006. Along with that, we also discussed effects of child marriage in the previous class. What we are going to do in today's class is how do we prevent or how do we help people who get into this kind of child marriage, who become victims to it. Okay, those who are forced into child marriage or those who involve themselves in getting their children married. How can you stop those people? Or how can you stop innocent children from getting married before their age? Then certain solutions of how we may possibly end child marriage. After which we will go into the last topic, this is the last problem that's remaining, that is child trafficking. Okay, that is taking children from one place and maybe selling them somewhere else, using them for many other needs. Okay, we will discuss that as it comes. But basically, I wanted you to understand that topic. So now, how do we prevent this child marriage? There is this saying, isn't it? Prevention is better than cure. Why is it said prevention is better than cure? Even for this virus, prevention is better than cure. The cure is a long way to go. But what are we doing? We are taking care of ourselves here and there. Same way applicable here, it's better to prevent than to struggle and lose someone in that situation. There are ways set down by the government, there are ways and policies, schemes laid down by the government which help each one of us as citizens to be responsible for people who are getting involved in child marriage. Now here in Karnataka, we are going to discuss what's going on in Karnataka. There are 47 officers, okay, 47 officers who are given at different levels, okay, at your taluk level, okay, in your district. So overall there are 47 different officers who are selected for this kind of position where they can help people who are getting into child marriage. In a way, it's like different offices, okay, you can understand different offices, different people of different portfolios can function as people who are involving in the prevention of child marriage. So, once they are being designated like that, in Karnataka, 47 officers are designated like that and they are called as child marriage prevention officers. So, you will just have to add prevention officers, whereas child marriage prevention officers. These 47 officers or portfolios where they are designated, they are called as child marriage prevention officers, alright. Now, if there is any marriage that's taking place there, or if you come across any people, if you know of anything that's happening, you can complain to any one of these officers, okay. We'll just see who are those people who are included as officers to help in the prevention of child marriage. Now there is a number, it's a toll-free number, 1098, okay, a helpline number, 1098, it's a toll-free number. You can contact 1098 and give a complaint against whoever is involving in it or who is getting involved in it, alright. So it's already written, isn't it? We've already discussed, anybody motivating, anybody involving themselves in these ceremonies is also a person who is going against what is being laid down. Anybody, the decorators, the videographers, the photographers, the pandal people, anybody who is getting involved into in the child marriage is liable for punishment. So you must be very careful before you know of certain things and ceremonies happening in and around you, because you can also be put into trouble. Okay, at your age you are not supposed to get married, and you can give awareness to people around you. There may be children in and around you, or they may be your relatives, so you can spread that awareness. Now that you have studied, you spread the awareness, you go against it and you spread the awareness to others. So this is the toll-free number 1098. You can lodge a complaint there against them. Well, you call here, you need not disclose your identity. If you don't want to say it, you need not. It can remain confidential. Okay. For you, or even if you say, it will remain confidential. You need not disclose your identity if you don't want to. Okay, you just can lodge a complaint saying that in this place this kind of ceremony is happening and these are the people who are getting involved into child marriage. All right, yeah. Then who are designated as these officers? One is headmaster of a government school, headmaster or headmistress of any government school. Okay, any government school. The village accountant that is there, the panchayat development officer, health inspector, and the police station. Okay, so headmaster or head of the institution of any government school, headmaster or headmistress of any government school. So village accountant, the panchayat development officers, the health inspectors that are there. Okay, and the officers or people in the police station. Okay, so all these people act as child marriage prevention officers, so they are designated. So everybody is playing a role. You see, the police is playing the role, the teachers are playing a role, the health inspector is playing the role, the people in the panchayat are playing the role. So society is always involved. Society is interconnected. That's why we say we need each other. We need every being in the society. One or the other person is important, one or the other way. So what is in and around us is equally important to how you are important for yourself, because what is around you will shape you within. Okay, so influences matter. So if you have influences like this, that is child marriage and other things, influences, it's a bad influence. But if you have an influence of a good mindset, of a open-mindedness family and open-minded family, okay, all open-minded people around you, you're going to change your influence into something else, or your influence, the atmosphere that you are in will automatically change. So these people, health inspectors, the teachers, okay, headmaster or the headmistress, the accountant, so different professions, you see, different portfolios that they hold, yet they are working for a common cause, that is prevention of child marriage. All right. Okay, so once they are designated as child marriage prevention officers, they are supposed to see, and that's their duty, it's a call for duty, that they are not supposed to allow any child marriage happening in and around their locality wherever they are placed. Okay. Now if any child marriage has taken place, and these officers who are there, they can go and complain in the nearby police station. Okay, so these officers who are there, if they come across any child marriage, they have all authority to go and complain against the people there in the police station. Now they cannot be questioned because they are designated as officers. So it's your duty to inform one of these, and then they will do the task for you. Okay. Now, even in the district and the taluk levels, I told you officers are being divided. They are also called as the same child marriage prevention officers. But you can lodge a complaint anywhere at any time, and the concerned authority will take people into task. So it's every citizen's and every person's right and duty, every person's right to protect their dignity, every person's duty to go against what's wrong, but rather fight for what's right. So if any of these happens, you can either call the number and inform, or you can inform one of these officers, and then they will complain against, and then the further references that are going to happen will happen. All right. Okay. So your activity is laid down on page number 82. So that's what I said. If you come across, call them, or inform the officers. Okay. Now, what can be our possible solutions, or maybe we can think of one or two solutions where child marriage in some way can be stopped. I told you in one of the previous classes, here and there, somewhere in the corner, all these things are happening, okay? It may not be brought into light, we may not see it in the area that we are living in, but still it is happening. Go to some interior places, or go to some families where they are still thinking of the past and they are still living in the past. This truly happens. People who have empowered themselves, people who have educated themselves, people who have an open mind to accepting things of what's happening in the present will not fall victims to this, or will not fall, they themselves will not fall, and they will not allow others also to fall for it. Okay? So the first solution of stopping child marriage in a way can be educating all people, both boys and girls, educating all of them, creating awareness. Okay, developmental programs that have to be done. You need to develop your skills. You need to train yourselves in order to be better and the best. Okay, good, better, and the superlative degree, the best. You must be the best in everything that you do. So in order to do all these things, if you don't get a certain kind of awareness, or if you don't get a certain kind of education at the right time, then things like this, you are bound to fall for all these things, okay? It's not you ought to fall for it, but you're bound to fall for it, okay? Now, on the other hand, if you know the situation, now that you know that, that you know what is right and what's wrong, what is the age of marriage and what is not the age of marriage, you can make your decisions, okay? It's not that you must get into such a kind of a situation. You can always revert back for it and say that I don't want, okay? You can have your own way of dealing with these things because you are aware of what's going to happen. It's not only one or two people will be falling into trouble, but the entire community who is involved in that marriage will be falling into trouble, all right? Okay, so developmental programs and preventing dropouts in school, okay? We must not let children dropouts or they discontinue their education and then they never come back. Why does that happen? One way we can go back and see, always one problem has many root causes. So only if you understand the root cause, then you understand the whole tree that is there. Okay, now if you don't pour water to the roots, how will your plant flourish? How will your plant grow? Okay, even with person's behavior, you must go back to the roots and see where, what has gone wrong. If you don't understand what's gone wrong at the surface level, you will not understand anything. Okay, now if there is a lack of fertility in the soil, okay, take this example. If there is lack of fertility in the soil and you're simply sowing your seeds every time, but your plant doesn't grow. It grows, but after some time it dies away. Or there are worms that eat it up, okay, and all insecticides and pesticides are harming it. Now what is the root cause? You must see, on the surface level you may be wondering, maybe it's the germs or the worms that are eating it, okay, the insects that are coming and spoiling our crops. But if you go down and see, the soil itself is not fertile. When the soil itself is not fertile, the plant is not bound to grow. The plant will not grow. It needs its sufficient nutrients, isn't it? The soil has sufficient nutrients. It needs it. Similarly here, we must go back and educate children. Now if you see the dropout, what's the root cause of the dropouts? One may be poverty, okay? Maybe they cannot afford such a kind of an education for their children. Maybe there is no, they cannot make a good living, okay? The earning that the parents do is not enough, so children are sent to work. When children are sent to work, then they lose interest in their studies, okay? Sometimes it may be a school that is not nearby. You have to walk for kilometers away, where It's not possible every day. Somewhere here in the corner may be your house, and another corner may be the school. Not possible to go. That also can be a reason. Sometimes children get into malnutrition and then they feel very weak. They cannot be healthy beings in the school. So number of reasons, okay. One among them is child marriage. Because of these lack of awareness, because of all the root causes that I listed down for you, ultimate is they believe that marriage is the only solution. Just get them married and finish it off. In case it's a girl, if they get her married off, then the parents have one person less there, okay. So see, always you must connect one thing to the other, and only then you understand better. Even while you're reading, students, don't simply for the sake of reading, read it, okay, but rather concentrate on each line that you're reading. Always one line is connected to the other, and when you're reading, go back and think, okay, at least brush up your mind in some way and remember certain things. Connect certain examples that you have seen. When you do and connect examples, each sentence you read will be registered in your brain, and that will never go away, but only if you concentrate and read, okay. So these dropouts happen mostly below 18 years of age, okay. Now you're fortunate enough to have your studies. Think that you're grateful and keep your education up, okay. There are so many children who cannot get into a good school, whose parents cannot afford them certain things, okay. They are not having the education that you have. So be grateful for what you have, and be grateful for everything that you're getting in and around you, all awareness that you're getting around you. Each thing and each day gives you a lot of knowledge. So you must be wise enough to take it. When we're not wise enough to take it, then we lose on so many things that we should have got, okay. Now all children, we have made compulsory education up to 14, but we must make it a little longer, and children must study till they attain a certain age, at least 18, okay. Now here below 18, so many children and so many students leave schools and colleges. Sometimes there is no teacher to teach them. Students are there is no teacher, or there is only one teacher in one of the government schools, and all subjects she teaches. She is not able to manage, he or she is not able to manage. One teacher managing so many students, not possible. That can also be one of the reasons. Where will she or he concentrate on, okay? Can be possibly add on to it, one of the reasons. Now these developmental programs that have been done, okay, something called as development programs have been started. In this, what they say is all students, all children must attend the school till 18 years of age, and they must be there in the schooling system, okay, the schooling years, and they should have 100% attendance, okay. 10% attendance. All students and children below till 18 years of age should get education. They must stay in the schooling system and should have a regular attendance, that is, they must come every day, 100% attendance on all days. Now, these developmental programs are done in order to prevent the dropouts that are happening, so that children get educated, and when children get educated, they become better individuals and they can stop this in a way, and they themselves cannot be victims to it. So you understand the connection there? A bigger chain is growing. Every time there is a chain that is growing. It's we who should know how to link it. So there were dropouts, developmental programs were done. Why developmental programs were done? So that children stay in school and dropouts are less. And it also had a feature to it. What was the feature? The feature was that all children up to 18 must attend and be in the schooling system with 100% attendance. Now that was a mandatory thing that was done, and when that feature was added in, it gave them some results of less dropouts that were there, okay. While they do this, they will also have to do their birth registration that is there, the compulsory birth registration, and that also should be like 100% birth registration. That is their target that is kept. Okay, some children are simply left away and no news about them, you have nothing to know about them, so then it's very difficult. Okay, then second, what they have mentioned solutions is give importance to girls' education. Okay, because I mentioned to you, it's a concept that is there, not in the minds of all people, but in the minds of some people. A daughter is the burden, and the burden will only go away when she is married off. Okay, I say it again. A daughter is the burden in the house, and the burden will go away only when she is married off. Okay, that's a concept in few minds that are there. Not all, I'm not blaming all, but few of them who have this mindset, and possibly maybe the number of reasons that we listed down, one of them can be, and they are sent out. Okay, so we stay in a patriarchal society. You see, after marriage the girl has to go to the husband's house. So that's how our patriarchal system works. So with that system of the patriarchy, we are developing ourselves into the mindset of letting the girl go away. Okay, letting the girl go away. But rather on the other side, if she is educated, if she is given enough awareness and enough knowledge of what she must be doing and what she shouldn't be doing, or what is right and what is wrong, then she herself can make certain decisions which maybe her parents cannot be making. Now, certain decisions always should be self decisions, because you are the only person who knows what's right for you and what's wrong for you. Rest, all of them in the community will only be there to suggest it, to guide it, to advise, because they have seen, they have crossed our age and they have seen what we have not seen. So they are also important. But what you hear within yourself is also important. What is actually needed? A balance that is needed. Here, what's the balance that's going to happen? If the girl is educated, she will know how to balance. Even if she is going to be a victim of child marriage, she will create a balance in such a way that she can let her parents know about certain things that are going to happen, or who will fall into trouble, because parents are targeted to be culprits of who are involving in child marriage. The major culprits, that's what we studied in the previous class. So that's how parents shouldn't get involved. Now, if she is educated, she can try to create awareness to her parents. In turn, what is she stopping? She's stopping her parents from falling into trouble, and she's also stopping herself from being a victim of child marriage. Understood? So this is how you connect it. So when you connect, you understand. If you don't connect, you don't understand. That's all. Okay? Then, priorities. Our priorities are always important, and certain priorities must be laid down. Priorities maybe like this. Schooling that has to be done, let us study college, okay, then let her work, and then make her decisions, okay, then marriage can come at the end, not when they are too small to understand the relationship or the institution of marriage. Because institution of marriage requires a lot of responsibility, and it's not an easy task that you can get away with soon. But rather on the other side, if you're taking time to think for yourself and knowing what's happening in and around, then you make the right decisions of choosing whoever you would like to get married to, or will know where are your limits or what are your barriers in order to make certain decisions. But whereas here on the child marriage, who is making the decision? The parents are making the decision on behalf of the children, and who is going to suffer? The child is going to suffer. The children are going to suffer in the future because that's not the decision that they have made. And when they have not made the decisions, they will always have to come back to their parents to ask what has happened. So we must stop this concept of going back and asking what has happened. Rather, would like to solve it ourselves, because if we do it at the right age, then right age and the right time that you feel. Okay, so certain things must be stopped in ways like this. Now, all people who are in and around us, in all our communities, we must know that we must somehow stop this, somehow oppose this, somehow complain against those people, because they must know what they are doing is wrong. They must not spoil both children, boy or girl, they must not spoil the child's life. They have a lot more to do. Both boys and girls have lot more to do, and they must do it. Okay, so we must always report what's happening. We must always question if there are wrong practices that are done, and always stand for right and oppose what is wrong. So this is what I had to tell you in today's class. We did a very short one, but I feel it was very informative, even for me, because I'm listening to what I'm talking, isn't it? So it was for me as well as for you. We were both, for me it's, for you it's the first time, for me it's the second or the third time, but yet I liked today's class very much. I want you to be aware of what's happening in and around you, okay? So you must protect yourself and protect others as well. So keep these numbers in mind, keep everything that's happening around you. See, always you must be very observant. Some people are very, it's not like that you have a sharp eyesight, not like that. But you must know and awareness, being aware of what's happening. Okay, just observe what people are doing, what people are not doing, what you are doing, what your family is doing. Are they in, what is the favor of this, or they are not in favor of it? So many problems, we have studied so many problems till now, okay? We are on the verge of finishing. We will deal with child trafficking in the next class, okay? We may have to deal with it a little more so that we understand it thoroughly. I want you to read, students, I want you to read. This is a little, a longer lesson than usual, but I want you to read. It's an easy lesson. It's easy because it's happening in and around our society, and we must be aware, we must know what's happening, we must be prepared for everything that's going to come on our way. Okay, so all right, with that I'm going to stop today's class. Child trafficking and the remaining things that are there till page 85, we will complete in the next class. Thank you, students.